Welcome to TFIGlobal, the antidote to mass delusion. India and Russia are good friends. Narendra Modi and Vladimir Putin are two old-school alpha males who don't give a tiny rat's ass to global media narratives. India remained neutral in letter and pro-Russia in spirit throughout the now 3-year-long NATO-created war. India purchased Russian crude, refined it, and then sold it to the energy-starved West. That's the story everyone knows. And now that Russian forces have started capturing Ukrainian strongholds and the West is too broke to fund the war, its frustration over India that kept Russia's account books rock solid is manifesting in the form of long, pointless, ranty articles. CNN, the king of all corrupt media institutions, unveiled a frustrated narrative in its latest analysis, focusing on Russia's fortified economic stance amidst its ongoing conflict with Ukraine. Drawing from a recent report by the Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air, CREA, CNN highlighted the surge in Russian crude oil sales to India, which last year reached a record $37 billion. It pointed out that a portion of this crude was refined within India and then exported to the United States as oil products, amassing over $1 billion in transactions. CNN critically observed that India's decision to increase its Russian crude purchases more than 13-fold from its pre-war levels has played a pivotal role in compensating for the shortfall created by the Western nations' reduced purchases due to sanctions against Russia. It underscored that while these transactions circumvent sanctions, making them legitimate, the substantial volume of shipments raises concerns regarding the involvement of the so-called shadow fleet. This fleet, purportedly developed by Moscow, aims to conceal trading activities and partners, thereby maximizing Kremlin's profits. So the fat liberal analysts at CNN know that they are critiquing something legitimate and are fantasizing about something which is yet to be proven. Anyway, through its narrative, CNN brought attention to a fantastical observation near the Greek port of Githio, where two oil tankers were seen engaging in a ship-to-ship transfer, a tactic often employed to disguise the crude oil's origin and ultimate destination. CNN pointed to the intricate lengths undertaken to navigate around the sanctions framework, noting the complex background of the vessels involved, including connections to entities accused of sanctions violations and individuals under US sanctions directly. Remember, these are all figments of CNN's unimaginative imagination. In response to these evasive tactics, CNN noted the US Treasury introduced a new set of sanctions aimed at impeding Russia's shadow fleet operations. Furthermore, it mentioned the coalition led by the United States that agreed on a price cap for Russian crude, an effort to deter the trade of Russian crude above a specified threshold and curb the profitability of such clandestine operations. Highlighting the creation of the shadow fleet as a direct consequence of these price caps, CNN elucidated on the challenges in overseeing ship-to-ship transfers and determining the actual cost of Russian crude. It pointed out the adaptive strategies employed by Russia against Western sanctions, with the shadow fleet's opaque ownership and complex routing. CNN also tried to explain, and in the process of it, maybe understand, the financial implications of India's increased crude purchases from Russia, emphasizing the significant contribution to Russia's federal revenue, which soared to a record $320 billion in 2023. It discussed the strategic financial maneuvering by Moscow to sustain its military endeavors despite a notable federal budget deficit, hinting at the war's substantial costs and the impact of sanctions on oil revenue. Furthermore, CNN critiqued India's justification for its substantial crude purchases from Russia, suggesting it as a strategic move to stabilize global oil prices. It also delved into the complexities surrounding the export of oil products refined from Russian crude in India, illustrating how such transactions exploit a loophole in the sanctions regime, enabling Moscow to indirectly benefit from the trade. Concluding its analysis, CNN emphasized the intricate web of crude oil trade, refined product exports, and the strategic utilization of a shadow fleet. It highlighted the significant challenges faced by international sanctions efforts and the complexities of global oil markets. Through its narrative, CNN underscored the need for vigilant global community efforts to counteract the economic underpinnings of geopolitical conflicts as Russia continues to navigate these challenges with strategic, financial, and logistical adaptations. The worst part is that these are excerpts from an actual article. No wonder no one trusts Western liberal media these days.